Matthew 7:13-14 says this: Enter ye in at the strait gate, for wide is the gate that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because strait is the gate, and narrow is the way which leads to life, and few there be which find it. Few there be which find it. The reason why the pre-tribulation rapture is a deception is because it is the easy way out, and it resists the narrow way in. Jesus speaks about the easy way here on this verse, and then he speaks about the narrow way also in this verse. The narrow way, which is the difficult way, it leads to life. But the wide way, which is the easy way or the familiar way, it leads to destruction. Jesus is our example as a man living on earth, God in the flesh, living the life that we are called to live, living the life that we are called to follow. When Jesus makes disciples, he says, "Follow me." And this is the way that he chose to walk. Jesus chose to walk the difficult way. Jesus chose to walk the straight way. Jesus chose to walk the narrow way. But the world, they choose the wide way. They choose the way that leads to destruction, but they choose it because it's easy. Jesus chose the difficult way. Jesus did not choose the easy way. So in the same way, we are to choose the difficult way, not to choose the easy way. It's easy to believe that God's just going to take us out of here without tribulation. It's easy to believe that we don't have to go through the lion's den. It's easy to believe that Abraham shouldn't have to sacrifice his own son. It's easy to believe that Noah should build an ark for 100 years. It's easy to believe that Abraham should just stay at his father and mother's house in Mesopotamia and not leave with his family to go to somewhere that he doesn't know, to go to some foreign land that he would not be accepted, a place that he would be a stranger. It's easy to believe that because that's what's familiar to us, because the flesh always chooses to save itself. But what did Jesus say? He said, in order for you to be my disciple, you must deny yourself, pick up your cross and follow me. And this is the way of the cross. Jesus chose the way of the cross. Jesus chose the narrow way. Jesus chose the straight way. So when we talk about the pre-trib rapture, we're talking about Christians escaping difficulty. But that is not what Jesus is preaching here. Jesus is saying, choose the difficult things. I'm leading you into the difficult way because the difficult way is actually what's going to lead you into life. But the easy way is actually what's going to lead you into destruction. And that's the way that everyone wants to go. Everyone wants the easy way. But think about this. Jesus chose to become a man and to suffer death for humanity. He chose to become a man and to go to the cross. He chose to become a man and take on our sicknesses and take on our sorrow and to crucify his flesh for the humanity. He chose that way. But why do we as Christians think that we don't have to choose what's difficult? Why do we think that we don't have to fast? Why do we think that we don't have to set aside time to pray? Why don't we think that we don't have to deny ourselves? It's the same reason why we don't think that we're going to be here. But you're going to be here. You're going to go through this. And when you go through it, you're going to come out on the other side because Jesus overcame the world. Listen to what Jesus said here. Matthew 16:33. These things I have spoken unto you, that in me you might have peace. In the world you shall have tribulation. I'm going to say it again. In the world you shall have tribulation. But be of good cheer. I, Jesus, have overcome the world. So when you choose the difficult way, you will overcome. That's why he tells you to be at peace and don't fear. So although it's difficult, although it's narrow, although it's straight, although it's unfamiliar, when you choose that way, you will come out the other side. It's a guarantee, as long as you keep trusting in the Lord. But if you choose the easy way, thinking that you can escape the lion's den, thinking that you can escape the fires, thinking that you can escape the persecution that's going to come, you're going to lead yourself to destruction, and you're going to lead others with you. And this is why pre-tribulation rapture is false. Because the people that choose it want to escape the difficulty. Tribulation is difficulty. Wrath is not difficulty. Tribulation and wrath are two different things. Tribulation has to do with hard trials, persecution. Wrath has to do with judgment and condemnation. The world receives wrath, but Jesus here talks about difficulty. Difficulty is tribulation. We are appointed to tribulation, but we are not appointed to wrath. Get ready, because you're going through it. Prepare your family, prepare your hearts, prepare your mind, cast off fear, enter in at the straight gate. Walk the difficult road, because that is the road that leads to life.